Welcome to MMA on the Rocks. My name is Bill Welker. You are listening to episode 319 of the podcast, unless you're joining live on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. If you want to catch the show live, you know what to do. Tell you guys every time. If you haven't done it by now, I guess you're not going to. Today is Monday, June 26th. And just like that, summer's here for pretty much everybody. It's kind of weird to me living in Florida and seeing people posting on social media of their kids graduating and last day of school photos and things like that. Because we've been out of school for like a month here in Florida already. It's a little bit of a mind trip. We go back a lot earlier. We go back like the second week of August. Whereas I know when I lived in New York and when I was a school teacher, school didn't start till after Labor Day usually. But here we are. We're all on the same page now, kicking the summer off. 4th of July coming up next weekend. Hope everybody had a great weekend. If it was your first weekend of summer, I hope you did something fun. I did a little day at the beach with the family yesterday. We were there all day. Got back. I don't do so well in the sun. I mean, look at me. If you're watching on YouTube, you can tell why I don't do well in the sun. But it just wears me out, man, especially this Florida sun. So that's why no episode last night. Getting on here for a quick one tonight. Mostly because I don't have a whole lot to talk about, but also the allergies are beating me up a little bit. We're starting to get the rain coming through the Tampa Bay area here, which stirs up all the pollen and stuff. Oh, it's miserable. But yet, here I am. I say this all the time. Mother Nature did everything she could to prevent people from living in Florida. Like, let's put some alligators and swamps and giant mosquitoes and snakes. Let's make it real humid. And somebody invents air conditioning and people can't stop moving here. In any case, what are you guys doing for the 4th of July? Those of you tuning in here in the States, that is. I know we have a lot of people listening elsewhere. For those of you, I'm sure you still know what 4th of July is, but it's the American Independence Day, and we celebrate by getting drunk and blowing things up in the sky. Mostly like fireworks made in China. That's how we celebrate our American independence. So we got all that going on. I got a fun weekend planned. My brother's actually coming down to visit with his girlfriend. They're going to be staying for, 4 or 5 days, long weekend. And my daughter does not know he's coming, so it's actually going to be a really fun surprise. He's going to be here at the house when she gets home from camp, and she's going to be so excited to see him because she loves her Uncle Rob. So yeah, we'll probably do more beach stuff, and I know they're going to go to Busch Gardens. We're probably not going to do that. Busch Gardens is a good time, but not the best park for kids because there's only like one little area with kiddie rides, and then the rest is all giant roller coasters. If you love big roller coasters, it's like definitely a fun park to go to. I would recommend it. Not the best area right outside Busch Gardens though, so I would either get a hotel like on the north side of it or just stay in Tampa, rent a car, or if you drive here, stay in Tampa and drive there. I wouldn't stay like right across the street. Not advisable. Anyway, let's talk some MMA. I don't have a whole lot to go over. Decent fight card over the weekend. The main event went pretty much the way I think most people thought it would. Ilia Topuria just shuts out Josh Emmett. What was it, 50-42 on one of the judges' scorecards? I don't think have we ever seen a shutout like that in a main event in MMA? I can't really think of one. He won every single round. There was definitely a few 10-8s in there. I think there was like 2 rounds where if he had like 15 more seconds, it would have been done. Of course, you have to credit the toughness of Josh Emmett just surviving that beating, but it was really about the skills of Ilia Topuria in this main event. He was just a step ahead the entire time. He moved into the pocket when he wanted to. He rolled out of danger when he needed to. He was landing clean shots to the face. He was utilizing that jab, which busted up the face of Josh Emmett. He was tearing up the legs with the calf kick. And all Emmett was really doing was trying to load up for the big shot. He's gotten a little too comfortable relying on that power and just wasn't mixing it up at all. He's got good wrestling. And even his coaches in the corner, he had Danny Castillo in his corner, who's a fantastic wrestler, especially an MMA wrestler. And he's in the corner telling him, like, Josh, nobody could take your power. You gotta land on him. You gotta go forward. You gotta knock him out. Yeah, I mean, that's one strategy, but after the first 20 minutes, when that wasn't working, I don't understand why that's still the game plan. You got to mix in at least, feinting a takedown or something. But Topuria really showed that he belongs at the top of this division. Fantastic performance, still undefeated. After the fight, he said he wants to fight Max Holloway in Spain. And if he doesn't get that, he's going to wait for a title shot. I mean, it was a fantastic performance, and it was a shutout win in a main event, but I wouldn't hold your breath for that title shot. Looking at the rankings here, Topuria was ranked number 9 going into this fight. Emmett was number 5. And, I'm just kind of talking about this for parody. I know these rankings don't really mean anything. But they're probably going to switch places. So Topuria will go into the top 5. But, look at the people ahead of him. Max Holloway is going to be fighting Korean Zombie. Let's be honest, he's probably going to win. So he'll stay at number 2. I don't think they'll do Holloway and Volkanovski again. So, I mean, hopefully Holloway finally moves up to lightweight, where I've wanted to see him for a long time. He moved up that one fight with Poirier and then went right back down. But I would like to see that. And then ahead of him, you'll also have Arnold Allen, Brian Ortega, and of course, Yair Rodriguez, who's going to fight Volkanovski coming up here in the next few months, I think. There's a lot of people ahead of him. And then let's not forget that the bantamweight champ, Aljamain Sterling, has officially announced that his fight with Sean O'Malley will be his last fight at bantamweight. So if he beats Sean O'Malley in Boston, I think it is, and he moves up, he's going to be moving up into a title shot, I would assume. So if you're Topuria saying you're going to wait for a title shot, you're looking at like a year and a half. And by then, this win over Josh Emmett, as impressive as it was, means nothing. So I think a call out of like Arnold Allen or Brian Ortega would have been a little bit quicker of a path, because even calling out Max Holloway isn't fighting that often these days. He's fighting Korean Zombie coming up in the next few weeks. And then, we probably won't see him again for 6-7 months. So I don't really understand the call out there, but it was a great performance. He looked really slick. He's a really skilled fighter. So, and as for Josh Emmett, man, it's tough because, let's see, how old is Josh Emmett? 38? I want to say. Yeah, 38. Turned 38 in March. And, with the way his career has gone, with all the injuries and pretty much breaking his hand every time he fights, at 38 years old, coming off of this loss, getting dominated, it's not looking likely that he's going to be able to string enough together to get back to the title shot, especially after everything I just talked about with how log jammed it is at the top and all the guys waiting in line to get a crack at the champ. And even guys looking to move up. You have Henry Cejudo too, who's still, he's looking to get that bantamweight championship and then, move up to 145 as well. So you got like a really stacked division here. So if you're Josh Emmett, unfortunately, the reality might be, you're seeing that dream of a championship fight kind of slip away. And again, I think he just got too comfortable relying on his power. Shit, I probably would too. If I carried that kind of dynamite in my hands, all I would want to do is swing on people too. So I can't really blame him. But I would like to see like a little bit better corner advice there. Maybe change up the game plan instead of, just try to knock everybody's head off. Maycee Barber looked fantastic in the co-main event, taking out Amanda Ribas in the second round. Ribas was moving up from strawweight. This was, she put up a good fight in the beginning. She was actually controlling the fight for, in the first minute and a half of the first round. Then it became kind of a slugfest. And then Maycee Barber started running away with it, landing those head kicks. She really did look great. And then finally put her down, got the TKO. 3 minutes, 42 seconds of the second round. So it's one of the best performances we've seen from Maycee Barber. It seems like she's really recomposed herself after those couple of losses she took in a row. The Roxanne Modafferi and whoever she lost to after that. She's really kind of recomposed. She's matured a little bit. And she looked great. The fight before that was really unfortunate. Justin Tafa takes one of the worst eye pokes I've ever seen from Austen Lane 29 seconds into the first round. So these guys didn't even have a chance to fight each other. Austen Lane, man, he was several knuckles deep in Justin Tafa's eye socket. He was like tickling his brain in there. It was pretty gruesome. It's one of the worst eye pokes I've ever seen. Like his finger went so deep into the eye. He was fingering some brain tissue in there for sure. Justin Tafa, as tough as they come, he's like trying to recover, but his eyeball is fucking bleeding, and he's like, yeah, maybe if I just wipe it off. Like, wipe it off, man. You gotta stop your eyeball from hemorrhaging there. I don't even know if there's blood in the eyeball. I thought it was like water. I don't know. I'm not a biologist. But yeah, that sucks, man. Hopefully his eye is okay. I mean, I don't see how it could be. His eye got pushed all the way back to the back of his skull. But we'll see. David Onama, big knockout win over Gabriel Santos. Great performance there. Awesome performance by Brendan Allen, taking it to Bruno Silva. He was standing with him pretty well. He took a couple of big shots, gave some big shots, and then once Brendan Allen gets a hold of your neck, it's pretty much game over. I mean, how many wins does this guy have by rear naked choke? He just snatched Bruno Silva's neck, and man, his rear naked choke is something fierce. Last 3 wins by rear naked choke. 3, 4, 5. All right. 6 rear naked chokes just in the UFC, and he's only been in the UFC since 2019. I'm counting his fight on the Contender Series as well. So yeah, man, it's just one of those things. He's just got that squeeze. And looking over the rest of his record, he's got a bunch more chokes on there as well. Pretty much won every single he was 5-0 as an amateur. Four of those wins came by rear naked choke. So, all right, he's got his MO. He could choke people really well, and he did it on Saturday night. So good for him. And that was a dangerous fight too. Magny gets a split decision over Phil Rowe. Didn't actually catch this fight, even though I was really looking forward to it. But that's a tough fight. They're very similar. They're both super durable. They're both kind of lanky, both really good grapplers. Both have very tight striking. Phil Rowe might have a little bit more punching power. But other than that, they're pretty evenly matched, and I guess the result kind of reflects that. Randy Brown pulling a big win against Wellington Turman, welcoming him to the welterweight division. And we had Mateusz Rebecki with the TKO over Loik Radzhabov. This one was kind of a surprise. Tabatha Ricci with the unanimous decision over Gillian Robertson. That it was impressive that she was able to control her the way she did, because Gillian Robertson is good. And I know the biggest disappointment for everyone, another split decision loss for Zhalgas Zhumagulov. This Rob Schneider looking motherfucker. I got to pull up this picture. Look at this. If Rob Schneider ever made a movie where he played an MMA fighter, this is it. They would put this Beatles wig on him, and he would be Zhalgas Zhumagulov. And that's it. That's the movie. Let's see. Maybe that's it. Keep it short and sweet tonight. A lot of split decisions early on the prelims. I didn't catch any of the early prelims. Let me know if there was anything worth watching. Let's see. We got Lane on the show. Catching MMA on the rocks live while he eats dinner. All right, what's for dinner? And we got Mark here. Tafa's going to need a new script. Are you talking about a prescription or like a script for his life? He's going to need to see it. An eye doctor, at least. Here's an interesting question. Does Topuria get out of the first round versus Volk? Yeah, I think he does. I don't think Topuria is ready for the Volkanovski fight. But Volkanovski is not like a get you out of there in the first round type of fighter. He's a wear you out and stay a step ahead of you type of fighter, which is the same kind of fighter that Topuria is. If anything, Topuria might have a little more pop on his strikes, but yeah, I don't think Topuria is ready for that just yet. Let's see. Magny versus Rowe is boring as fuck. You're lucky you missed it. All right. All right, then. Let's take a look at next week, which is, I don't have a whole lot on this card, to tell you the truth, guys. I know this is gonna be a short episode. Sean Strickland fighting Abasupian Magomedov. I have no idea who this guy is, but I'm scared of him. I hope I said his name right. 32 years old, from Russia. He's got a win in his UFC debut, TKO over Dustin Stolfus. That was back in September. Not a whole lot of losses on his record. Looks like he's got a ton of experience. He's been fighting since 2010. All right. And he's 32 years old. So that means he was, I'm no math whiz, but that's pretty young. what is that, 18? 19? All right. Hold on. Let's figure this out here, folks. 2010 was 13 years ago. Okay. All right. So he was 19 when he made his MMA debut. I don't know. Somebody who's good at counting. I don't have enough fingers to figure this shit out. I guess he's been fighting since he was 19. That makes sense if he's from Russia. 25-4-1 against Sean Strickland. I tried to listen to Sean Strickland's podcast that he does with Chris Curtis, and it's hard to follow, man. He's more all over the place than I am. I know I go off on some tangents, but Sean Strickland just kind of says whatever comes to his mind. He doesn't have like any kind of filter in this frontal cortex area. I have no idea how this one's going to go. These guys have similar amount of experience. Strickland has one more fight than Magomedov. They must think highly of this guy to throw him right into a main event with Sean Strickland, who I believe hasn't fought since the loss to Jared Cannonier in the main event, which was the end of 2022. Let me just check on that. It says Sean Strickland's nickname is Tarzan. When did that happen? And why? Oh, right. He has the win over Nasruddin Imavov in January. That's right. He fought like 2 weeks after fighting Jared Cannonier and wound up winning. Took that fight on short notice. I forgot about that one. Why is his nickname Tarzan? This guy's I don't know. This guy's a character. I don't know what to expect from that one, to tell you the truth. Damir Ismagulov and Grant Dawson. That's actually a good fight in the co-main event there. That should be a good one. Max Griffin, Michael Morales. Morales undefeated. There's a few undefeated fighters on this card. Ariana Lipsky against Melissa Gatto. Flyweight matchup. Ismail Bonfim and Benoit Saint-Denis. That's going to be a really good fight. These Bonfim brothers are exciting. And Benoit Saint-Denis, really tough, durable fighter. So that'll be a good one. Another undefeated fighter, Bruno Fedea against Nursultan Radzhabov. I feel bad for the broadcasters on this one, man. Here's what's interesting to me about this card. The return of Kevin Lee to the UFC. He went away and did some other things, fought Diego Sanchez. He fought in Khabib's promotion, Eagle FC, for a little bit. They're bringing him back on the prelims against Rinat Fakhretdinov. Fuck off, Adin. Fuck off. All right. Fuck off, Bill. You don't know how to read. Master's degree in English. What a waste of money. Fakhretdinov. Let's go with Fakhretdinov. This guy is 20-1, but he hasn't lost a fight since 2013. Welcome back, Kevin Lee. He's coming off a unanimous decision win over Brian Battle. Seems pretty well-rounded. 11 knockouts, 5 submissions. He's only ever lost by a decision. So this is going to be at 170 pounds. So I guess Kevin Lee, no longer a lightweight. Yeah, welcome back to the UFC, Kevin Lee. Here's they're basically telling him to fuck off with Fakhretdinov, whatever the name is. Kevin Lee hasn't fought since March of last year, so it's been over a year. Coming back into the UFC, man, this is a tough welcome back fight. They're not exactly welcoming him back with open arms. What else? Okay, here's another thing that's confusing the fuck out of me, because they're putting like these fights that could be really exciting as the opening fights. And this has happened like the past few weeks. So Alexander Romanov against Blagoy Ivanov, like this could be actually a really good fight. Both of these guys can end it in one shot. It could also be a really boring fight. You know, both of these guys can tend to, you know, be strategic, but it's heavyweights. You never know what's going to happen. Like, why is this one the curtain jerker here? Somebody explain it to me. I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about anymore, guys. Doing this sober too. What's going on? I hope you're all having a drink while you're listening to this, wherever you are. Okay. We also have Ivana Petrovic, another undefeated fighter, against Luana Carolina. So that's what, 3 undefeated fighters on this card. And this guy with this creepy looking monster that they put in there against Kevin Lee. All right. Well, I mean, we're going to see how it goes. This could be one of those cards where it's like, it could be, you know, unassuming and turn out to be awesome, or it could be a total dud. The only way to find out is to watch it. I mean, it's 4th of July weekend. What else you got going on? You know, drink some beers on the beach, and then, you know, when the sun goes down, you go inside and watch some MMA. Probably what I'm going to do. Let's see. What else do I want to talk about here? Bare knuckle. All right. Friday, July 14th. Great bare knuckle boxing card. And I only say this because I have 4 friends fighting on this card. Unfortunately, I won't be able to go. A lot of times I'm able to get my press pass and go to these bare knuckle events. I love attending them. I don't follow the sport that closely, but when my buddies fight, I always pay attention. And then they're here in Tampa a lot, so I'll go and get my press pass and cover it and, you know, talk to some people backstage and stuff. But I won't be able to attend this one, unfortunately. It's only right here in Lakeland, which is like 45 minutes away from me. But my wife is going to be on a business trip, so I'll be here with the kiddo. I don't think I'm going to drive her to I think I'm going to drive my 5-year-old an hour away to go to a bare knuckle boxing event that's going to go until like 1 o'clock in the morning. But my buddy Dave Redneck Mundell putting his middleweight championship on the line against Mike Richmond. Mike Richmond 5-1 in BKFC, and Dave is 6-1. So that should be a fun one. I mean, Dave has been knocking people out left and right. He's looked like an absolute beast in there. And then the co-main event is his buddy and training partner Jared Warren against some guy named Dyer. I'm not even going to click on it, see what his first name is. And then my other buddy Brandon Allen is getting in there. So these guys are all fighting right in a row. And right before that, my other friend Ryan Reber. So, you know, if you're a supporter of this show and you want to watch this event, all you have to do is root right down the left side for the what is it, the red corner? All red corner for the last 4 fights of the night. So that should be cool. I wish I could attend in person because I love going to watch my friends fight, but you know, I guess I have to be a responsible parent. Then August 11th, this was big news. My buddy, and he used to be my boxing coach, but he got an opportunity somewhere else, so we haven't trained together in a little while, but still a good friend of mine, J.R. Ridge, is going to be fighting John Dodson in the main event, BKFC 48 in Albuquerque, New Mexico, for the vacant flyweight title. This was like kind of in the works for a while. I know they were going back and forth with JR and saying like he's going to get it. And then it was going to be some other guy, like the bantamweight champion wanted to move down and fight John Dodson. But then, I don't know, he couldn't make the weight. I don't know what happened with that guy. But look at this poster, man. They made these guys look like a Marvel movie. And JR, you know I love you, but I mean, these guys are 125 pounds. They made them look like what's the guy from the Marvel movie that kills all the superheroes? They made them both look like that guy. This is great. I love this poster. I want this, JR. I want this poster from my studio here. So you got to send me a signed copy of this one. But this is big because another one of my buddies fighting for the championship here in BKFC against a really tough opponent, John Dodson, who's been doing really well with the bare knuckle stuff. I mean, the guy's so quick and explosive. He's got so much fight experience. But JR is pretty quick himself. He's a great counter puncher. He's going to have a great game plan going into this. He's had his eyes on John Dodson for a while now, ever since he signed with BKFC. He knew he was going to cross paths with him. So he's been preparing, and it's finally going to happen. He's stepping right into his backyard in Albuquerque, August 11th. It's going to be awesome. So congratulations to JR on a well-deserved title shot. And what else? Anything else going on, guys? I haven't seen any real major headlines lately. If there's anything I'm leaving out, if there's anything you want to hear me talk about, feel free to reach out and let me know. If there's topics I'm missing. I know I don't usually go into news. I kind of play it week by week. I should probably plan it out a little better, but hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. If you want to grab some MMA on the Rocks merchandise, our friends at Team Reaper make all that stuff, t-shirts, tank tops, and hoodies. I don't expect to sell too many hoodies anymore now that it's summer for everybody here in the States. But if you're overseas, they do ship overseas. You can use the promo code MMA Rocks 10, save yourself 10% on your entire order. And that's it, man. I know it was a short episode this week. I'll refund half your money for listening to this or watching this or whatever you happen to be doing. I appreciate you guys. Hope everybody has a fantastic 4th of July. Be safe out there. Don't go blowing your fingers off with fireworks. Don't shoot any fireworks towards the kids. Don't try to throw fireworks out of your car window. Don't drink and drive. That's all my advice. And that's it. All right, short little episode this week. As always, I appreciate all the feedback, all the comments, all the criticism. Appreciate all you guys. Until next time, cheers, everybody. Bye.